Henry, wake up. Henry, wake up. Wake up. Henry.
Huh? What?
Can't you see the sky?
I do. I do see the sky.
Henry, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I could live 1,000 lives and build a snowman.
It will have the personality of someone who did too much improv in college.
But you are making fun of the cutest snowman Henry's ever seen in his life. I must say, Olaf melted my heart.
Wow, I'm touched.
Yeah. It was it was kind of meant for that.
All right, welcome to the franchise. I feel like we have a bit of a solemn tone now.
Well,
Alan Menken wrote that beginning for us. And
yes, yeah.
Here he is, the D-Flake, Snowflake, Daniel Ehrenberg. And over there, Henry Papali.
He's always fucking one-upping me with the D names. So, all right, you're the Snowflake, you're the D-Flake. I'll be the Snowmobile. I'm the H-Mobile.
Oh, I like it, H-Mobile.
H-Mobile, there we go.
No.
Yeah, that's
the
right,
Hank
everybody.
Boney.
There you go. The Hank Boney. That's right. That's right, everybody.
Episode 182 of the franchise.
Boy, he's doing something different, guys. He's putting Wheaties in his cornflakes.
That's right.
He's getting the numbers right every week. And I got to say, I meant it. We'll get into it. I love Olaf.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get to him.
Don't like Josh Gad. Was a little annoyed with myself for liking Olaf.
You know what? I get it, Henry. I'm not as hot on Olaf as you are. But I do feel like he is significantly more likable than your average Josh Gad performance. And it's because you can't... Josh Gad, he's got a punchable face.
Yeah, he really...
Right? I mean, that smile, you just want to knock his fucking teeth out with his shitty receding fro and his horrible glasses that look like mine but more annoying.
They are more annoying than yours. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Remember that sitcom on NBC where he played the president's wacky son?
Oh, my God. Who is the president?
Bill Pullman.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
It's called 1600 Penn, Henry. Now, that's short for 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, which is the address of the home of our Lord and President, Donald Trump.
Oh, that's the place that used to be considered like a place of respect and all that. I remember that.
It still is. Come on.
It's just a house. No, just kind of a house.
But Kid Rock goes there sometimes.
That's true. He doesn't like it, right? Remember
No, he likes Mar-a-Lago.
Right. Trump said it.
All right. Come on. This is a listener pick this episode. I don't want to get into the weeds.
None of that stuff right now.
All right. Hank. John Evanbear, one of our best patrons.
He is.
He's already ordered us to cover Critters.
Oh, that's John Evanbear.
Which we loved.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I loved it. And now here it is. He's made another pick, Frozen. Frozen 2, currently in theaters. I went to see it at the 34th Street AMC before sneaking into Parasite. How about you?
So we had a bit of a little snow fall here.
A snowfoo?
Yeah, snowfoo. It was about 28 degrees. I was able to go at night to the closest possible theater, freeze my nuts off in the car getting there, and lucked out. 4 people in the theater. One kid, but a very well-behaved kid, never said a word. And the only part that was, rough was going up and ordering the ticket and saying one
You need the AMC pass, man. I didn't have to show anybody what movie I was going to see.
Yeah,
Well, they have to scan it, but all it is a barcode.
So I don't know what you're seeing.
Also, the guy who scanned me had Down syndrome, so... Henry, come back to the mic. I'm just stating a fact. Frozen.
What's the relevance of that? Of you even saying that then?
Well, I just mean like, I could just put my phone down and have him scan it. He didn't seem like too quick a reader. Henry just burped and then coughed.
Burped, coughed, and laughed all at once. Triple threat. No, that's not on my 2019 list. But I'll tell you what. So I had to order the ticket. One adult for Frozen 2. It was a teenage girl. They had decided, I suppose, at this real shitty theater that I've talked about before, that they were not going to keep open their box office on this snowy eve. You would be buying your tickets at the concession stand. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
To wait concession stand when you're not buying concessions. There might have been something wrong with this girl too. She was very sweet.
I never said there was anything wrong with the guy who brought me in.
And nor did I intend to mean to imply or impugn upon anyway. So this girl took my response. She was very welcome to Regal Cinemas. I hope you have a good experience. What would you like to see? And then I was like, one adult for Frozen. And she was...
Oh my God, there's never been a creepier sentence uttered. One adult for Frozen.
I might have just said one for Frozen, but this was my favorite part. She had to fucking say this, right? She had to say this. And she was very much guileless. So this was not, said in any kind of sarcastic manner. She says, and loudly, "Just you?" And I said,
any concessions, Henry? While you're there.
I had a shit ton of stuff with me, so I didn't
Nice.
I one day get going.
I just saw some Frozen 2 accoutrement around the theater. Some cups, some nacho boxes.
Oh, nothing. No. Well, you're at the fucking 34th Street AMC. I'm at a shit-eating RV cavern. So anyway, yeah. So I said no, just me.
All right. Well, that's Frozen 2, Henry. Those are our Frozen 2 experiences. We'll get to that more, but let's go back to Frozen.
Done.
I'm sorry. Continue the story.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You asked me what... Okay. I followed the wrong lead there. You're right. Well, that's... There's the story.
Well, we'll get to it. We can flesh it out later.
Exact same story again later. Don't worry, everybody.
Can't wait. Word for word. That's also scripted by Alan Menken.
Yes.
Frozen. Here it is. John Evan Bear's suggestion. Henry, you'd never seen this, right?
Oh, no.
I watched the first half hour with my 2-year-old nieces once, and I endeavored to do the same with this. I watched Frozen on Thanksgiving.
Oh, look at that! That's not. Did it work out for you? You were able to with your nieces, or what?
I went back to my parents for tea giving, and I put on Frozen after the Westminster Kennel Club dog show, and my nieces, who are normally every time I see them, they're begging to watch this movie, were not in the mood.
Not interested.
Yeah. So I put it on, but they weren't that into it. They got into it a couple times at parts they particularly liked. But then it got to be nap time about 40 minutes in, and I just watched the rest with my family.
An unsuccessful uncle-niece outing, sort of. Yeah. Well, how old are they now?
They'll be 3 on January 20th. They were born on the great inauguration of our Lord and Savior.
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
That's right. I remember the day my nieces were born, watching his inauguration speech from the waiting room of my outpatient alcohol treatment facility, waiting to be driven to the hospital to see my sister give birth.
Oh, my God. Wow, was that the worst day of your life? With like
No, because my nieces were born.
I was just going to say, with the flicker of that at the end of it. Wow. Boy, the gods must have really felt
that
like they were
same day,
conspiring
I was supposed to have my first date in 6 years because I'd just gotten out of a really long-term relationship, and then my sister had to give birth, so I couldn't go on the date. It was just like nothing was good except for my nieces.
That's a bad day with at least a happy little ending there. Boy, well, that's pretty young for I guess to really fully sit there and watch Frozen, but it's obviously visually stunning. So get a lot for those little 2-year-old eyes.
You found this visually stunning
for 2-year-olds?
Okay.
Actually, I thought it was very nice to look at. I liked the landscaping. It was fun to look at a different type of landscape other than like some pixelated human Pixar's house. It was nice to see like an ice scape.
I mean, yeah, the ice and snow looked good.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna differ.
I mean,
maybe that aspect.
The other parts of the animation look dated as fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Like for today's standards?
I thought even for 2013, the human rendering that they were doing was below par.
Oh, I was fine with it. Jesus Christ. They all still look like balloon noses and all that, whatever.
Okay. Henry, Frozen was directed by the team that was put together for this movie of Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee. Jennifer Lee got the final script credit based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. It was released November 22nd, 2013, on a budget of $150 million.
God damn.
Yeah. And
these things cost money.
They do. And it made $1.276 billion at the box office.
So that was a hit.
It was a pretty big hit, Henry. It was number 3 at the box office for 2013. I have the top 5 written down here. You want to guess on the other ones? We've actually, now including Frozen, we've covered 4 of the 5 movies. And the other one's a franchise movie, too.
The other one's a what?
A franchise movie as well.
All right.
Look at him consulting his top 10 list like they're going to be good movies.
No, well, no, I am actually looking at it because this is one of those weird years, 2013, where I still have my original, where I wrote down everything. So I'm looking at the biggies too. All right. Top 5's got to be The Conjuring in there somewhere.
No. I mean, that was a hit, but that wasn't like a top $5 billion hit.
Okay. All right. There was no Marvel movie that year. I don't think.
Of course there was.
2013?
And it's number 2 at the box office.
2013. All right. 2012 was Avengers. 2014 was Avengers. And
okay, now try and think about a movie that's dealing with the aftermath of what happened in the first Avengers movie.
Iron Man 3.
There you go. Number 2, Iron Man 3.
Okay. Let's try on a little Purge.
Henry, this is the top 5 movies. Those horror movies don't do that well. Man of Steel is number 5, yes.
As it should be.
Oh,
okay.
God. Well, it certainly shouldn't be number 1
Gravity.
through 4. No, Gravity is on the top 10, I believe, but not in the top 5.
All right, I'm good. Thanks. That's enough abuse.
All right, number 5 is Man of Steel. Number 4, Despicable Me 2. Number 3 is Frozen. Number 2 is Iron Man 3. And number 1, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire.
Sure. Wow. Boy, we're making the rounds. Yeah.
So this movie, they started developing it at Disney, Henry, in the year 1940.
So, right. So it's been in development for a while.
Yeah.
73 years.
Walt Disney wanted to make a biopic of Hans Christian Andersen as a live-action film, and at the same time film an animated adaptation of his fairy tales, which would include this one.
Okay.
But that never got off the ground. It lay dormant for many years, Henry, but then they revived it in the year 2000.
Okay.
All right.
That's still fun to say.
Yeah, it is. Futuristic.
Yeah.
All right. In the year 2000, they went to Pixar, who, was under their thumb.
Sure.
And they said, hey, Pixar, do you want to make this Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale? Pixar was like, do you get that we're geniuses over there and we generate our own material?
That's from the dark web, that conversation.
Yeah. So they said no. Then it went into dormancy again.
Dormancy. Okay. I was sleeping. Beauty.
In 2008, Chris Buck, who had previously worked for Disney, was lured back. He had made Tarzan for them in 1999.
Oh, boy.
And he left and made Surf's Up, which was a
Sure.
hit.
Yeah.
And then he was lured back. So he said that he wanted to pitch the Snow Queen. Okay? So he pitched a movie called Anna and the Snow Queen. It was going to be 2D animation.
Okay.
And it was going to be the Snow Queen. Elsa was going to be a villain in that.
Right.
And Josh Gad was already signed on from that point.
Obviously.
They wanted Gad for this project.
Get Gad. Get me Gad.
They were like, Disney, like as a corporation, was just like, guys, this thing doesn't work without Gad. You better get me Gad.
Give me some Gad. I need it now. Call his agent. Call his agent. I need the Gad.
But he's doing Book of Mormon on Broadway. If he isn't in L.A. in the morning reading this snowman script, we ain't making it. But thankfully, he went to L.A. and signed on.
God.
Megan Mullally at this point was also signed on to be one of the two ladies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Megan Mullally.
Yeah,
Okay.
she dropped out.
Yeah.
Okay, so then 2010, Tangled comes out. Big hit. It's a little bit more female-centric. It's a little bit more feminist. It's a little bit more modern, okay? So at this point, they're like, well, let's ride this movie's coattails. They changed the title from Anna and the Snow Queen to Frozen.
Yeah.
And they decide no 2D animation, 3D animation.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So let's make it more boring. Let's have it just blend in with everything else, and that's part of the landscape currently. Okay. All right. So meanwhile, John Lasseter, former
I know
head,
that name.
former co-founder of Pixar. At this point, he was the head of Disney Animation. He has since been Me Too'd, but at this point,
Jesus, we are running out of people to cover.
No, he only had a touchy-feely Me Too, so he's been able to get work elsewhere.
Oh, touchy feel. Oh,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
it's not a rapey rape Matt Lauer situation,
And
or
not
a
a-
jerk off in front of you Louis C.K. situation. It's a touchy touch situation.
Yeah, you knew where I was going to go. I was just going to say he didn't close the door and masturbate in front of me. Okay.
Didn't press his desk
Touchy-feely.
button. So he's elsewhere with his creepy Hawaiian shirts. But at this point, he decided, here's an idea. Elsa and Anna, they're going to be sisters.
Okay.
So he held what he called a sister summit at Disney, where he
I
brought
read
in
that.
all the women that have sisters. He was like, let me get your phone numbers. Let me get your sister's phone numbers. It was all a scam, obviously, but something good came out of it. Jennifer Lee had a pretty good pitch about growing up with her sister.
Oh man, I never thought of that. That is a really good scummy way to get a whole bunch of women in a room. Just
Yeah.
like, it's about sisters. Bring your sister. If your sister has a friend who has a sister,
We're also looking to start working on character models. So We might need to see some curves. So Jennifer Lee had just written on Wreck-It Ralph, which had come out and was a big hit. And so she got the opportunity to work on this movie, Henry. There were only 17 months left till the release date, which they already had planned out. And so she had to rewrite the script really fast.
Because
fast.
we're definitely in the era at this point where the release date is almost more important.
Yeah, I'm sure that November 22nd, 2013 was originally labeled as Untitled Disney Animations Film.
100%.
Yeah. So anyway, Jennifer Lee, she comes on, she knocks it out of the park. She has creative carte blanche. Do whatever you want with the sister storyline. Just make sure Gad's in.
Right. Got to get Gadfly.
Okay, so it comes out. It's a huge hit, Henry. It is nominated for some awards.
Yeah. Would one of those awards happen to be an Oscar?
It is.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just. Oh, what are we getting? Oh, let's see.
Oh, it's an ad. Oh, I like it.
It's a little longer than.
What is happening? Is that song
there
in
we
English?
Go.
Oh, nominated for 2 Oscars. Won them both! Best Animated Film, Best Song, Oscar champ! All right, cut the music. All right, so it does well at the Oscars.
Yeah, I remember the song being performed at the Oscars.
Oh, well, that's classic.
Right, that's the JT moment, correct?
Yes, of course.
All right. I didn't watch the song.
I was watching it, of course. Idina Menzel, who performed the voice of Elsa in the film. Right. She's being brought out to sing her Oscar-nominated song "Let It Go," and John Travolta, of course, says he'd like to introduce the incomparable Adele Dazeem. Adele Dazeem. That's what, and he's looking at a prompter in that moment.
I purposely didn't look up what he called her because I didn't remember what it was exactly. I wanted to wait for the reveal on the show. Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem. Here, I have a clip here on YouTube.
Oh, maybe play it for the audience.
From the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen, please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
Were you able to hear that? It was pretty low.
Yeah. I heard it.
You heard it. I hope the listeners can hear it as well. But the wickedly talented, he says, because she was in the play Wicked. Adele Dazeem. Now, so that was a great night for her. The Golden Globes I have here, Henry.
Hold on.
Jeez, the Golden Globes. It's the Hollywood foreign press, mostly French.
Yep. This was nominated for Best Animated Film, which it won.
Sure.
And it was also nominated for Best Song again, but this time lost, I'm sorry to say, to one of U2's many boring songs from movies. Yeah. This one, I would say, maybe even worse than The Hands That Built America from Gangs of New York.
Which I like that song.
This is Ordinary Love from Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom.
Ooh,
a movie I'm not convinced exists.
I have never seen it. I saw the one with Morgan Freeman and Matt Damon.
Invictus. I haven't seen that one either.
I saw that.
I gotta tell you, not interested in Nelson Mandela. Sorry.
There are many things wrong with you.
What's the movie about? Him just living in his house?
Oh my God. Forgive my co-host's historical disinterest in certain great amazing people in the world. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so the
Look at
movie
this house.
the movie has very much been franchised. In addition to Frozen 2, I'd like to point you to a Broadway musical that exists.
It had to, yeah. Who's in that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, gotta be somebody noteworthy. No,
There's a ride at Epcot.
nice.
Yeah.
It's called the Adele Dazeem.
There's a stage show. You know how sometimes you're walking around those parks and there's a stage show?
Sure.
There's a Frozen stage show, which apparently replaced Aladdin.
Ooh, burn.
Yep. It was included in the show Once Upon a Time. Remember that show?
Vaguely, yes.
It was on ABC. It involved storybook characters who all lived in a weird town called Storybrooke. God, that's stupid. I watched
That
the pilot
sounds
of
great.
it.
Sure
And
you did.
so around like the 4th season, they included the characters from Frozen in an arc. All right.
Okay.
And there was a short film that came out before Cinderella, which people liked, and a short film that came out before Coco, which annoyed everybody.
One had Olaf.
Yeah, that was the Coco one.
No one liked
Apparently
that one.
wouldn't annoy you.
No, nothing Olaf does annoy me.
Jesus Christ. He's on the GAT train.
Gadzooks.
Great.
We'll talk about it. We're not there yet.
Well, we can be. Well, I guess let's go through the 2013 list, and then we'll do it. 2013's a good year, by the way.
Fuck yeah, it is. It's
I
crazy.
hadn't redone this list in a long time, and I had a hard time, and Before Midnight's not on it, and I'm not happy about it.
Me neither. It's not on mine either. But I didn't redo mine. I've had this same one for a while. But it's a great year. It was one of the years I considered for our last rank high voltage. I personally wasn't suggested, but I wanted to do it. We'll do it eventually. All right.
All right, go ahead. What's your number 10?
Oh no, I'm throwing out some honorables. I'm sorry. Excuse
right.
me. Wolf of Wall Street, Nebraska, Mud, Stoker, Short Term 12, Inside Llewyn Davis, What Maisie Knew.
I didn't even think of Inside Llewyn Davis. That's great, too. 4 of the movies you mentioned are on my list.
Sure, I'm sure there are, and I got more, but I'm not going to say them all. It was a great year, lots of stuff. All right, number 10, Francis Ha.
My number 10 is Alexander Payne's Nebraska.
My number 9 is Upstream Color.
My number 9 is Ryan Coogler's Fruitvale Station.
Yes, sir. My number 8 is the great Steven Soderbergh's Side Effects.
My number 8 is Jeff Nichols's Mud.
Great.
That's that guy, right?
I think it is Jeff
Okay,
Nichols.
good.
Yeah. Number 7, The Counselor, Ridley Scott.
My number 7 is Derek Cianfrance's The Place Beyond the Pines.
Nice to see it. I like how we're doing it sort of like the Oscars. We're going to say the creator
That's right.
before the movie. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, of course, is Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity.
My number 6 is someone, and Roger Deakins' Prisoners. Is it Denis Villeneuve?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Oh, you got it. All right, here we go.
Heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
This is a very heavy year, heavy list. I think Francis Ha is my only lighter movie. Number 5, Fruitvale Station.
My number 5 is Dustin Creighton Craig. Is that his full name?
Wow.
Short Term
Wow.
12.
I don't know that director at all. Yeah. Is
What?
that his?
He's making that new movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, thanks, Grandma.
Destin Daniel Creighton. Interesting that Daniel was the name I forgot.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, he
Sorry,
made
you're-
that Glass Castle movie, which sucked shit.
Oh.
But his next movie, Just Mercy, looks interesting. And he's directing that Shang-Chi movie for Marvel.
I don't know what that is.
We talked about it. Shang-Chi, the martial arts character from Marvel.
Yeah, right. So, excuse me, on our massive franchise update.
That's right.
So, number 4, Prisoners.
My number 4 is Martin Scorsese's best film of the the tens, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Wow. All right. Number 3 is Derek Cianfrance's Place Beyond the Pines.
My number 3 is Greta Gerwig's and Noah Baumbach. They do that one together or apart?
Boy, I don't think she directed that by herself.
I think that's a Noah Baumbach situation. Frances Ha.
Yeah.
Looking it up just to make sure.
Forgive us, ladies and gents. We're reading off the same teleprompter as John Travolta did. It's
Adele Dazeem. Yeah, Baumbach's involved. What else? What's number 3? Oh, Frances Ha. What's number 2?
Number 2 is the great Lithuanian filmmaker Scott Cooper, and that is Out of the Furnace.
Oh, Henry, I saw a trailer for the new Scott Cooper movie, and it looked good. And I was, like, pissed off because it made me want to watch it.
Yeah,
I thought I was done with this fucking guy.
You are done. Don't see it, all right? Because I want to hear about it. I want to fucking hear about it, man. Look, he disappoints.
Someone I like is in it, though.
I don't even know the movie, so
it's called Antlers.
Yeah, all right. Well, you liked
Kerry Russell. It's got Kerry Russell.
Oh, you're in then, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I gotta see it.
Good for you.
And Jesse Plemons.
He makes movies like Out of the Furnace. He makes movies like Hostels. It's
bad
worth
movies.
It. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your masterpiece at number 2?
Steve McQueen's 12 Years a Slave.
All right. Yeah, obviously, that was the best movie of that year. So that's the number 1 movie of 2013, 12 Years a Slave.
For me, it's Spike Jonze's Her.
I liked Her, but not even in my HMs.
All right, let's talk about it. We're talking Frozen here. Frozen time.
Hey, wait. A real brief word, you should say. Did John Evan Bear give any... I always like to ask any explanation or
no, he didn't. This concerns me because either he wants us to talk shit about it or he thinks it's great and he wants us to love it.
Right. We never know with our fans.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think no matter what we do, obviously, if he left it up to us, then he's going to be happy with whatever we have to say, I would have to assume.
Well, you should never assume, Henry, because you know what that means.
Assumptions are for assholes?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Arendelle. Arendelle, it's a port town. It appears.
Let's talk about this movie as if it weren't animated. Let's just talk about it like in real terms. So it takes place in this Norwegian port town called Arendelle. It's a
Norwegian fishing village called Arendelle.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks English.
It's one of those sort of like those Netflix series where
like
they can
Valkyrie.
cross back and forth. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
It's exactly like Valkyrie.
It's exactly like Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Scientology movie, Frozen.
It even had its own Bryan Singer behind the scenes.
Well, this guy didn't seem like he was to that level, but yeah.
No, I think Buck and Lee are all right. Okay. What's going on in this town? It's I don't know what year it is. I don't know what time period. I don't know if we're on some kind of distant planet, distant star, another universe.
Yeah, right. I always think
it's a fairy tale, though. I guess we can put that aside.
I mean, it's one of those Disney fairy tales. It could be 1940. It could be 1840. It could be 2040. It doesn't matter.
I thought we were looking at the BCs. I don't think Jesus Christ has hit these shores yet.
I don't think Jesus Christ has hit these shores. Yeah, well, they don't seem to have any religious views, so that's refreshing.
It is. But they do believe in Satan's magic.
Yeah.
Because Elsa has ice powers, much like Bobby Drake of the X-Men.
all I thought of in the first few.
It's exactly the same mechanics.
I was, yeah, it really is. It's identical. I was like, oh my god, it's Iceman. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Elsa.
If Elsa was on the X-Men, that would be all right.
That'd be great. Fucking throw her in. Throw her in there, man. Yeah. So you got, what do you got? You got Elsa and Anna are little sisters. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm not gonna take the time to prolong my A's.
You better prolong that A.
Elsa and Anna.
Yeah, they're kids. They're rich little brats living in this mansion. But meanwhile, this town is like 2 streets. And this house takes up like a third of the land.
I did notice, especially in the second movie, that the actual kingdom, not the biggest kingdom that I've seen in a movie.
No, they evacuate the entire kingdom in about 30 seconds at one point.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, you think about Avengers: Age of Ultron; they're trying to get everybody out of Sokovia.
Sokovia.
Yeah, I mean that takes a while. In fact, they don't succeed, and some Sokovians tragically perish. But they take care of this in no time. But anyway, Elsa has magical powers that she accidentally knocks her sister unconscious, or actually kind of kills her. Right? With like
I don't believe she kills her.
Well, they have so much so they have to take her to a troll.
Listen, they get up early, they build... Oh, that's right, I forgot about the troll element. They make Olaf, the snowman. They're playing. They're the best of friends, these sisters. Elsa's got the powers. Anna's brunette. All right? They're like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Elsa's Ashley, and Anna's Mary-Kate.
Dude, I kept thinking the whole time, especially in the second one, I was like, Please give Anna some powers. Give her something.
I didn't want her to have powers. Because then it's like on like Buffy, when like it was just Buffy who had powers, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, now Willow's a witch, and
it seemed unfair.
Oz is a werewolf now.
Right. I had the same thought about Buffy too.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Anywhere he can, folks. Anywhere he can.
Elsa icicles Anna by accident. She gets a little too excited playing, and Anna gets hurt, and she wakes up looking like Rogue. A lot of X-Men references here tonight. She's got a big white streak in her hair.
Yeah, true.
So right this second, the parents take it upon themselves to go take a cruise.
Well, first they say the sisters can never see each other again.
Oh, right. So they put up a wall in the house.
Same house.
It's like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when like Will and Carlton are having a fight, so they put up like tape down the middle of the dorm room.
Right.
Or the guest house, I believe.
I don't remember. I was taught, but yes, they these impenetrable walls where the sisters can, of course, never. Elsa just has to explain, look, this is why we can't be friends. It's nothing personal. This is what Dad and but she doesn't want to bother with that. So just don't speak for whatever 10 years, 20 years. I don't know how long it is.
It says 3 years.
That can't be right.
That's like what it says.
Like 6 years old when this happens.
But it says on the screen 3 years later.
It does?
Yeah.
Following her 21st birthday, Elsa is to be crowned Queen of Arendelle.
So they must be 16 in that opening shot.
Okay. So Elsa's 18 and Anna is like, all right, let's just 13. That's fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They're like tiny kids.
I don't know. I've got a 3 years later thing here.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I have a note. Why would I write that?
Fucking knows.
I trust my notes.
I don't. It could apply to something completely different.
Maybe. All right. So the parents are dead. Okay, they're. What are you saying? What? Stop talking over me.
It's hard when you're always talking. The second movie starts 3 years later after the first one.
That is not why I wrote that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. The parents are dead. All right?
Yeah.
It's Disney,
Yeah.
so we got to kill the parents off.
Yes, in a ship at sea.
Yeah. You think Disney likes Marvel so much because it involves a lot of dead parents?
Or DC.
Well, I read an interview with Bob Iger recently, the head of Disney. They asked him if he could get any other property that Disney doesn't already own. What would it be? He said DC.
That's Bob Iger, folks.
Yeah.
For parents. Yeah.
Bob Iger. Okay, so what do we have here? It's like everyone's coming to town for something. It seems like there's a parade happening or something.
Well, it's her coronation, so
that's
she's going
right.
to be queen, like I previously said. When she's 21, she becomes queen.
Elsa.
Elsa's very scared because she is not in full control of her powers yet.
And
She's not-
Anna doesn't even know she has powers.
Right.
They go to the trolls and wipe Anna's memory of her sister ever having powers.
Correct. That's right. Yes. So she comes out and
It's like the first Superman movie.
very much. Yeah. Ooh, boy. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Maybe this movie is such a big hit because it resembles superhero shit so much.
I maybe. I don't know. Dan's kind of dancing right now. I don't know what that's about.
I am.
Alan Menken bob and weave?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the convo we're having. It's like jazz, baby.
Yeah. Are you into the convos of Frozen? That's an Alan Menken,
Convosin?
right?
What's that?
Conversation, the convo of Frozen. I was making a play on words.
I wasn't into it.
Okay. But were you into the parody of Alan Menken's melodies?
Yeah, that was all right.
That's pretty on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens? Elsa's gonna be the queen, but she lets loose her powers again, and everything gets fucked up.
Yeah,
And she fucking runs out of town after freezing everything, and it's going to be eternal winter for the rest of their lives. And then we meet our hero, Hans.
Yes.
Here he comes. He's a handsome king. He falls in love with Anna immediately. And he vows to stop eternal winter. His plan is to kill Elsa, this basket case asshole, and restore summer to its rightful place in the land. The ultimate season.
Wait, we forgot something there. She doesn't just come out and things go wrong. Elsa loses control when Hans and Anna say they're going to get married.
Oh, that's right. She's
That's
like,
what it is.
it's too soon. You barely know each other. She fucking flips her lid instead of just having a calm conversation with her sister.
Right. No, yeah. She'd just be like, can I talk to you for a second aside?
Just
This might
bring her
not
to
be
the
best
other
thing."
room like it's
Right.
up in the air or something and say like, hey, listen, you just met this guy. Like maybe take it a little slower, like date him for a while. He seems like a nice guy.
Right. I mean, he might be Norwegian, but you don't know if he's got any STDs. You want to go through all of that. You want to, see his parents. You want to make sure you go through the motions.
Live
go
with
ice
each
fishing.
other for a while. Maybe fuck. Like there are things like rites of passages in a relationship before you decide to settle down and be together forever.
Yeah, she's like, look, Christ hasn't even hit these shores yet, Anna. We're a long time ago. This is a long time ago.
Remember your friend? You remember your friend, the mermaid Ariel?
Yeah,
She got legs, like day one of legs. She married Eric.
Yeah,
and he cheated on her like right away.
Not a good idea.
Yeah,
either to come out of a coma or to come out of the sea. Come out of a lamp. No, that one went nowhere. But you see my point. And anyway, so yeah, they rush things. Elsa gets sort of self-exiles herself to this sort of, I guess, kind of a pasture palace type of ice.
Well, she does
Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She runs away, and she decides she's gonna let it go, meaning the town Ariandel, and she sings the song "Let It Go" that we know and love.
Mm.
And that's the best part of the movie. And then what she does is she builds herself a palace of ice. And I don't know if you noticed this, Henry, but it looked to me like it was identical to the palace that she used to live in.
Well, that's why I got confused.
It's the palace that she grew up in,
Same
but
thing.
just made of ice. It's a mirror image. She is crazy.
Do you think that's Elsa? What's really going on? In
I think Elsa's a maniac, and she puts everybody in that kingdom at risk just by being alive. I'm with Hans. You gotta kill this bitch.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Wow. You would be in the world of Frozen. You would be a member of the Council of the Superhero Registration Act. You would need Elsa registered.
Listen, Elsa is the only superhuman in this universe that we know of, other than like magical creatures like trolls.
Sure. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I think she's either got look, if the trolls can maybe teach her to control her powers, then
Yes.
I would say maybe she could go live with the trolls. But otherwise, you got to throw her in the incinerator.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Freeze the incinerator. But you could send her to like do like a troll. But you could send her to the trolls like a Luke Yoda situation, you know, maybe learn a little bit about thyself and all that kind of stuff. I didn't see Elsa quite as much of a terror
Are
as
you kidding me? She's crazy. And don't get me started. And by the end of the first movie, you think she's okay. But then we pick up with her 3 years later in the second one, and she's hearing singing voices.
That's true. She is.
Yeah. That is the melody of every spooky voice in your head in any movie where someone's hearing singing voices.
Yeah, especially when they are trying to impugn a non-Native American / Scandinavian / mysticism going on there.
There's a lot of Native American mysticism in the second one. We'll get to it. But yeah, that song is something. And then they include it in the big number in the movie.
Yeah.
Into the Unknown.
So here I mean, look, the music for me, I always go into these things. This will be now the third animated thing we've covered, and the second one involving music.
It's got to
like
be
a
more
musical.
than 3, right? Incredibles,
Aladdin, and this, right?
the Boba Fett cartoon and the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Sorry. This holiday special that did have songs in it.
It had the Boba Fett cartoon.
Yeah, I did have that, and it had Art Carney singing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and Chewie and his fam. All right.
R.I.P. Diane Carroll, by the way.
Yeah, we said that last time, but
Let's
that's okay.
just keep saying it. That's a new feature on the show.
Okay. R.I.P. Kamala Harris's campaign. I was sorry to see that go.
Kamala.
The fucking pronunciation Nazi over here. Anyway.
Okay, so they go find her.
No, hold on. This is my point.
Go ahead.
So I didn't quite realize that this was a full-on musical.
Oh yeah, it's a Disney cartoon musical.
Didn't really know that. So for me, the weaker points of the movie were when they were singing.
Yeah, but at least in this first one, the songs are pretty memorable. Like, I can remember the melody of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? That one, The First Time in Forever, I kind of remember. And Let It Go is obviously a Stone Cold classic smash.
Okay. I mean, I
love a big movie musical fucking epic number.
I'm with you. I like that too.
Yeah.
But,
for me, the two Stone Cold classics of this last decade are this and Shallow.
Shallow.
Yeah, from Star is Born.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I'm thinking like Skyfall by Adele. I like that one.
That's a good one, too. That's another good example of one.
That's in an opening credit sequence.
I know, but still, that's what it's going for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not exactly in the days of... I was pleased to not have Alan Menken around At the same time, call me old-fashioned. I did think about like when you had songs like "Someday My Prince Will Come" or "When You Wish Upon a Star." Like these are like really cool, great songs, and I don't know what happened.
But you know what? When You Wish Upon a Star, Henry, it's remembered because it came out like 80 years ago. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like in 50 years when Disney Plus is still running the town, let it go. Like the kids are gonna keep discovering this shit.
All right, you could be right. You could be right. Yeah. No, these songs did not offend me, and I was very grateful for that. I'm usually worried I'm going to be offended.
What about the score, Henry?
Yeah, innocuous, but fine. No, it was fine. It was totally fine, man. I got to tell you, I was not thinking that this movie was going to work on many levels for me, but the music was really, it was okay. I mean, a lot of the score is just kind of that sappy background stuff, but I'll take it.
I was just excited because the composer was Christoph Beck of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame.
Yeah, I looked him up. Yeah. Sorry, I had clearly cut you off before. To continue with your plot description.
Oh, well, they go find Elsa, right? You've got Anna, and she goes off by herself. She runs into this fella named Christoph, who's a big blonde goofball, played by the non-Tench character on Mindhunter.
That was unbelievable, dude. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
I was just like, while the movie was on, I was like, who's this guy playing this voice? And I was like, no fucking way. Holden!
Yeah. And once you know, you can hear Holden coming through.
The whole time.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's Kristen Bell playing Anna, and she meets a Mindhunter guy, and he's got a reindeer named Sven, and they're best buds. And
I loved Sven.
Great.
Yeah.
Loved Sven. Loved Olaf.
I really liked.
Do you want me to buy you like Funko Pops of these characters?
Oh yes, please. This is one of the few Disney movies where the non-human characters were creatures that didn't fucking irritate me.
But what about Mushu the dragon in Mulan?
I never saw Mulan. Yeah.
Eddie Murphy plays a dragon named Mushu.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't bring up Eddie Murphy on this show ever again. Don't worry, I don't do that.
Why?
That's
We
not
got to
allowed.
cover Coming to America.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then we'll bring him up then. But he's not. I don't talk about him. No, it was nice to see characters that were. At some point, we'll talk about the characters when Dan's done this labyrinthine plot description.
I've barely said anything. You won't let me. So they go to find Elsa. Of course, Elsa creates a giant snow golem to murder her fucking sister and new friend. The golem chases them for like a fucking half hour, this movie.
Very long.
And they run into Hans, so now it's like a bit of a love triangle with Anna. What happens next?
Well,
Hans gets revealed as a bad guy.
right.
Even though I disagree when he reveals his motives. I think that he sounds heroic to me. All he wants to do is kill Elsa and bring back Summer.
And rule the kingdom like a tyrant.
What do you
That's
mean? Like,
what he really-
do you know he wants to rule it like a tyrant?
Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants the kingdom under his rule, man.
Under the sun.
Yeah, well, okay. So Hans is a greedy son of a bitch. I'm not a fan.
Hans
He's a bad guy.
understands that, listen, nobody's going to be happy with eternal winter anyway. Winter, a horrible season. We're in it right now. I'm already miserable. What'd you just say?
I love it. I love winter, and you
Go
know that.
fuck yourself.
I do.
That's stupid. You know, these people who love winter, I hope when the rapture comes, you're the ones who go.
You ever wonder why the people who always love winter are the ones wearing shorts the longest into December?
I mean, that is true. Who said that?
Nobody, but I hate that when I walk around and I see people in the fucking dead of winter in
Yeah,
shorts.
yeah.
It pisses me
Acting
off.
like this isn't bothering me. I don't even
Yeah.
notice it. Oh, is it cold out? My shins don't feel that.
Hate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Hans does have one of the ultimate badass villain lines in Disney history here.
Ooh, what's that?
When he says to Anna's face, "If only there was someone out there who loves you."
Oh yeah.
Because he
That's
was
tough.
like, no one's going to save you. Your parents are fucking dead, bro. You've got this rando blonde guy. You just met him. He's not saving you. There's a moose or whatever that is. There's Elsa, your sister, is a fucking crazy person living in an ice castle in the woods.
Yeah, that's it's a rather chilling moment. Ooh, yeah. However, I have to say, as per Disney, I kind of saw it coming. Did you see it coming?
I did
I have
only
to say.
because I knew Elsa wasn't the villain of the piece. And so someone had to be. And so basically what happens is we meet Hans first, and then we meet Olaf. Not Olaf,
Right.
fucking Kristoff.
Right.
And because Kristoff had that reindeer Sven, I was like, this guy can't be the villain.
Good call. That's right. Yeah.
And
yeah,
so I, because even the animals of villains in Disney movies are evil, as we learned
Yeah.
with the bird Iago.
Yeah. You're right.
So I knew that guy was good, and so there seemed to be a love triangle, a brewing, and I figured then the other guy in the love triangle must be the villain. So I did guess it beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't guess it right away, but about halfway through,
I guessed it once Kristoff showed up.
Oh, that's sooner than me. Then I didn't get it that quickly. But it's still a good.
But then there's also that other little sort of dwarf hanging around the movie, and you think he might be the villain for a while.
Oh, the guy Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, the great Alan Tudyk, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Well, he is kind of. I mean, he is a villain, but he's just straight up not the main.
But he's
villain.
a goofball villain.
Right.
He can't be the main villain.
Right. He's got the floppy toupee thing going on there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got the floppy toupee thing for sure.
Yeah. Anyone wearing
a big mustache. He looks like the Pringles man.
He does. Yeah. The Monopoly guy. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. All right. What else do you have to say about the movie, Hank?
Well, I want to say overall, I thought the animation was perfectly fine. That's what I wanted to ask you about because you've seen more of these things than me, but I've definitely seen my share, and I didn't see any deficit. I thought the movie looked great.
They made the snow and the ice look so great and photorealistic that I do think that the landscapes and the humans could have used some more rendering, and I don't know. It just seemed. It seemed a little too DreamWorksy for me, man. Not up to par for the Disney studio.
All right, well, here's some other things I liked about the movie. I liked that Elsa is not given a love interest.
I like that too.
Very refreshing.
Well, the sisters thing that Lasseter came up with is a genuinely good idea.
That was going to be my next point. I love that it's a movie about sisters, right? That it really works, and they write it well. I liked that Olaf is not, and I read that he was supposed to be, like an evil, not evil, but like annoying sidekick to like Elsa.
Right.
And they changed that and just decided to just kind of make him a lovable kind of not constantly self-referential. And I think that might make clear to you why I liked him more. Like there's something very, very kind of innocent about this movie that I missed in some of the Pixar films.
Well, especially
you know what I mean?
Yes, of course. Especially that character, Henry. Like Olaf is like built as this character who has no life experience whatsoever. He's just sort of very excited to be a snowman and to be alive. And whatever happens, he's cool with.
And I was fine with that. And I was expecting something very different being in this era. Especially even 2013, I was expecting a lot of the self-referencing things and the winks at the adults and stuff like that, constant. And it really didn't have that. Like, it was just a very lovely kind of innocent little movie, and it didn't have like another agenda going on that at least I'm sure if you read into it, and clearly people did from what I've read.
Oh yeah, there's a feminist angle that I think is fairly convincing, and there's a homosexuality angle which I think is a little bit more of a reach.
That one I agree. I thought that was a reach. I read that one. The feminist one, I think it is a feminist, but
I certainly think that was at least Jennifer Lee's intention upon signing on. Yeah,
I think that's right. But I didn't even think that. I found it funny when I was reading about that was even like that was kind of like a no kidding to me. Like, yeah, I guess did people think it was like more pronounced than it should have been?
No, I think people just thought that it was a new thing for Disney. Disney is a very old-fashioned studio. They literally didn't have a black princess character till 2008, and she was a frog for half the movie. So, I mean, that's Disney. I think so. Tangled was, I think, perceived as a step in the right direction, and Frozen sort of blew the doors off the thing. That said, I think Frozen being in the public consciousness for the last 6 years or whatever did affect my viewing of it, because it didn't feel quite as revolutionary as I'd been led to believe. It's kind of just another Disney movie to me, except for the sister angle. I wasn't impressed with the animation. I think Let It Go is a great song, but nothing else was really special, even if a few of them stuck with me. I thought the vocal performances were mostly good, but not...
I thought they were too.
Not in the same league as Pixar, with possibly the exception of Kristen Bell. Or I guess you'd have me believe Josh Gad.
No. That Josh Gad isn't even... I mean, that's not singing to... I mean, I think Kristen Bell and Adele Dazeem are very good. I think they have, and
Adele Dazeem's a great singer.
Yeah, and they don't have annoying those fucking vibrato in fashion American Idol voices that are so in vogue,
right. Well, Adele Dazeem is like a classic Broadway singer. Like, she's been doing Broadway for many years. She's known for her range and shit. My theory is that a lot of the Frozen 1, like the original movie songs, were written before they knew they had her. Because I felt in that second one they were really taking advantage of that range.
You are right. Yeah, they were blowing the rafters out with her voice on that second one, and even with Kristen Bell, they pushed her a little more.
Yeah, and Kristen Bell's got some pipes.
She actually really does, and I'm not someone who's a big fan of the Broadway type of singing, but I think in these two guys are good, and I think I just like the movie's tone. I like the plot was simple. Some things went on a little too long. I could have done with a little fewer musical numbers. What was the running time? It was like an hour.
Too long. It was like an hour and 40 something like that.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it felt at least 15 minutes too long to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I might.
I liked it.
You
much
liked
more
it more than
you
thought. Yeah. On the one hand, though, I can't discount it because I see the joy that it brings to kids. Like, it genuinely does. Like, my nieces aren't into movies yet. They watch like Bubble Guppies and The Wiggles and shit. And like, this is a full-length feature film that like my sister put in front of them and they were fucking into.
Yeah.
And there's got to be. Yeah, it's not the original cast.
They'd be like 90.
No, it's just a bunch of different guys wearing multicolored sweatshirts. The only one left from the original has gray hair now. There's a girl. There's like a hot ginger girl. There's one dude who's like, his character trait is that he falls asleep a lot. And then there's one dude who's like a trained opera singer who I genuinely think is very funny.
Okay. The guy who falls asleep. The guy who falls asleep all the time, that's Jeff. Jeff did that in the original Wiggles. That was Jeff. Wake up, Jeff.
I don't remember that, but this guy's name is Lockie, and I guess he got that character trait.
There you go. All right. Well, I like this movie. I was quite I was quite pleased with myself, liking the movie. That was not a sentence, and yes, coming to Olaf, I thought he was goddamn cute. So there you, if you want to know why, I just think he's really cute. He's a cutely designed character. I like his little stupid head and the
It's
fact that
okay.
his body's always. You know, it's funny because it's not the most original thing, but I just think they did something very simple, and it was just he's a cute little guy. Yeah, I like.
Made me laugh a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was a laugh riot. I just thought he was endearing. He didn't. This could have been obnoxious. It could have been obnoxious, especially with Gadzooks in it.
I know.
And it ain't.
I was really
It ain't.
dreading it. But that's another thing. Like, even people who hate Josh Gad were like, Olaf is great. Get ready. You're going to love it. And, like, I'm watching it. I'm like, he's definitely not that annoying. But, like, I don't really
Yeah,
see
see-
what you're talking about.
Well, see, I didn't have any of this going into it. I haven't kept up with any of that, so I didn't have. All I knew about the hype, I didn't even know till we started looking up the movies, for the show. I hadn't known it made $1 billion, man. I didn't know it was any bigger than any other major Disney hit. So I didn't have a lot of preconceived notions. So having said that, I'm giving this movie a nice, high, solid 3 stars.
Love to hear it, Hank.
What are you going to give it?
Oh, I'm going to give it 2.
Ooh. Wow. So for you, a sort of a subpar Disney movie here.
It is. It's not very good, but it had its moments. My MVP... Boy, I can't give it to Josh Gad. I'll give it to Adele Dazeem.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, I think, although in this movie,
Although maybe Kristen Bell for
Yeah.
injecting Anna. You really do root for Anna. When that, the only
it's
reason
Anna's
that
movie.
Yeah, the only reason, like, when Hans turns into a villain, it hurts only because you care about Anna.
Yeah. This is
All right, I
Anna's
got to give it
movie.
to Bell. I changed
That's-
my mind.
No, I think that's fair. I looked at this is Anna's movie. The next movie is Elsa's movie.
I would agree
That's how
with that. I would agree with that. And
So-
I think they proved themselves to be equally uninteresting characters.
All right, well, everybody. Well, Dan's kind of a Frozen hater. Henry, strangely, I like this movie. Olaf is my hands down MVP.
But not
I
your
haven't liked-
Hans down MVP.
No, he's my LVP. Hans.
Oh, Hans.
Little stock for me. Little stock.
Listen, if we're talking characters, not actors, Hans is my MVP.
Yeah, right. Okay.
LVP, the Trolls. Don't like the Trolls.
Oh, that's a good call. You know what, man? You know what? I forgot about that. That was a very strange thing with them because that was pretty unoriginal. They just look like rocks, but they actually look like those fucking dolls. So it's like, I don't know what the thought process was going into
Yeah,
that.
they look like the Trolls, like from the movie Trolls.
I know. It was like, I didn't get that. What a cop out. I think that.
Yeah, it was bullshit. I don't like fantasy in general, Henry. You know that about me. I have a really hard time getting into fantasy movies. And this is a Disney movie that's really leaning on the fantasy side of things. And whereas for the most part, I can get into things, once we're bringing in mythical creatures, I lose a step. I lose a spring in my step. Introducing trolls into the situation so early in the movie turned me off.
That's actually a really good point. I'm changing the LVP because Hans, while being a boring stock Disney villain, the Trolls was in what I consider to be a very good Disney movie, a very unoriginal touch. So there you go, folks. A 3 and a 2. I'm a little blown away. All right.
Speaking of 2, Frozen 2.
Wow.
Chris Buck back to direct with Jennifer Lee. Lee is writing once more. Apparently they had free reign on their next project after Frozen was such a hit. And much to Disney's surprise and delight, they decided to make Frozen 2.
Now, why did it take 6 fucking years, man?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Totally thought you'd have a prepared answer
Well,
for that.
they hadn't decided whether they wanted to make a sequel yet. That they didn't like sign people for sequels. It wasn't a movie they had an eye on towards a franchise. So I just think it took a while to like get everything together and decide they wanted to do one.
Oh, all right.
After the first movie came out, they got right to work on that Broadway musical. So I think like they got the original songwriters from the first one to work on that.
Oh.
So they might have like had a few years where like they couldn't even start anything.
Because, God forbid they just get two other people to write the...
But these are the masters who gave you Let It Go. They're a married couple.
Are they?
Lopez something?
Are they? Oh, that's a nice
What are their
thing.
names?
They are Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, the Lopez couple.
That's right. The Lopez family.
Bobby and Christy.
And there's Uncle George Lopez in the corner.
And J-Lo on the 6.
You love making on the 6 references.
It's been a while, right? It's been a while.
I feel like it hasn't. I feel like
it hasn't, really?
You make them all the time. Anytime J-Lo comes up, you say on the 6.
She's got to be on the 6 if you had my love,
Right.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I got Hustlers on the queue.
Oh, I've got that somewhere else. Here it is. Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee. They put this baby out November 22nd, 2019. The exact same date. 6 years later. Henry, we know how to do release dates in this day and age.
Wow. Okay, 2 points. 1, I didn't know that's what you were going to say. 2, when you leaned into the camera and you said the exact same date. Yes, folks, you know me. Long time we've been friends, me and the audience. We all know me and Dan have been. I thought Dan was going to say the exact same date as JFK's assassination. I totally
Is it
thought,
November 22nd?
Yes, 1963.
Okay.
11/22/63.
Well, Disney's trying to change that. They're trying
Oh
to
my
pull the wool over your eyes and make that Frozen Day.
Yeah, they were aiming right at me. They were like, well, we better do this so Henry can not think about JFK on that day. Yeah. They didn't win.
Did you know that now at Disney, Jennifer Lee, Frozen was such a big hit that she has John Lasseter's job?
Fucking A, man. Really?
Yeah, he got Me Too'd out of there. They just hired her.
Good for them.
Yeah, she's lucky she went to that sister summit.
Yeah. Paid off.
It really did.
Off.
Here it is. Frozen 2 looks like it's a hit, Henry.
It does, right? It's only been out for what, a couple weeks. It looks
and
like
it hasn't even come out everywhere in the world yet.
We're past $1 billion.
Yeah, it has so far made $292 million.
No.
Where are you looking?
$745 million.
Is that on Wikipedia? I'm on Box Office Mojo. They have a new owner now, and they're behind the curve, Henry.
Uh-oh. Wikipedia is more accurate. Where'd they get their figure? Box Office Mojo. I'm looking right now. That's their citation.
Well,
all right.
Maybe I'm just looking at the wrong list, Henry.
Yeah, you might be.
Sure.
All right.
But I will say that already Frozen 2 is number 8 on the top 10, top grossing movies of 2019, Henry.
Good. Well done. Well said. Yeah, I would imagine Captain Marvel's on there.
That's number 4. You want to guess? You want to hear the list?
I hope I do better. Avengers Endgame.
Number 1.
All right, so I got 2 of them. So there's 2 Marvel movies. Joker.
Number 7, but I assume that will be higher soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, here, the top 10 right now as it stands. I'm so sorry. Frozen 2 has knocked Hobbs and Shaw out of the top 10. Number 10, still Us.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe it? An original film. Number 9, It Chapter 2. Number 8, Frozen 2. Number 7, Joker. Number 6, Aladdin. Number 5, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 4, Captain Marvel. Number 3, Toy Story 4. Number 2, The Lion King. Number 1, Endgame.
Wow. I did not expect a lot. Okay, there was a lot of animated movies this year. Holy shit.
No, there weren't. They're those live action Disneys, Henry.
Oh, I was gonna say, right. God, okay. Boy, it's fun being out of touch.
All right, H-Dog. We made our 2019 preliminary lists.
This is a very preliminary list.
Very preliminary.
D-Flake texted me. I was on my way home from work. I hadn't written anything, so this is just kind of a smattering. These are all great
Still
movies.
so much that has yet to come out for us. We have not seen Marriage Story by Noah Baumbach. We have not seen Cats, the live-action Cats musical. We have not seen Rise of the Skywalkers. We have not
Right.
seen Uncut Gems by the Safdie brothers.
Right.
We have yet to see Dr. Doolittle.
Saw a preview for Cats last night.
Henry, let's wait. I have written
Okay.
down all the
good,
previews.
good. Oh,
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Did you take a notepad in with you
I
to the
did.
theater? That was smart. I should have done that because these previews are worth the price of admission.
I agree. Preliminary top 10 of 2019. What is your number 10?
All right. My number 10 is High Life.
Now, what's that?
That's a Claire Denis film.
Are you sure that came out this year?
I'm 100% positive. I double-checked everything on my list.
Okay.
Yes, that's the emerging. Dan might hate it. I might hate it too, but the man is in good quality movies. Another Robert Pattinson performance that's really good. Juliette Binoche's crazy, fucked up movie. Was even considered apparently giving it an X rating, but those don't exist anymore. It's really wild space movie, High Life.
Okay. My number 10 is Jim Jarmusch's zombie comedy, Zomedy. The Dead Don't Die.
The Dead Don't Die. God damn it. Every time you say it, I say I'm going to see it and I forget. Okay. Number 9. Ooh. I like this movie a lot. Dan and I have not discussed it, and I know he's seen it. Right now it's at 9. It could rise. It could fall. The Irishman.
Henry, I'm so sorry to tell you that you're underrating it.
Underrating it.
Yes.
Whoa! Folks, listen up. Biggest news of the franchise year on this show.
That I liked The Irishman?
Did not expect that at all.
It's
Didn't expect you to
the
like
best of Scorsese's long master epic things since, like, Goodfellas.
Wow, that's even a bolder proclamation. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to talk about The Irishman another time. Yeah. Wow. All right.
It's a
No,
great one, Hank.
I loved it.
I still say Wolf of Wall Street's better, but it's great.
Well, I mean, yeah. I was not disappointed in The Irishman. I think it's flawed, but a lot of people are shitting all over it, and I don't see that.
I don't think a lot of people are shitting all over it.
I am not getting the impression that it's going over as a Stone Cold classic.
I think dumb people don't like it. Stupid people that have Netflix are like, it's long.
Right. I loved it, and I could have thought I didn't mind the 3.5 hours.
Nope, didn't feel long to me. My number 9 is Hustlers. You could find one of those actresses on The Six.
Yes, you can. That's right. My number 8, and I did double check to see, even though it says this is 2018, it did not make its U.S. premiere until 2019. And that is this crazy filmmaker, Craig Zahler, Craig Zahler's third film, and he is 3 for 3, Dragged Against Concrete.
Now, what are these movies?
You've seen 2 of them, I think.
Really? What are they?
Bone Tomahawk.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I thought you did see that.
I've only heard good things.
Brawl and Cell Block
I didn't
99.
see that either.
But you haven't seen any of his movies.
No.
Okay. I've seen all three, and this is a very good. It's not. It's probably the weakest movie on my list.
The Republicans love him. Then why isn't it not your number 10, Henry?
Because
If
I
it's
made
the
it-
weakest one on your list.
Because I made it in 2 seconds. This list. It's just to give you something. The Republicans love S. Craig Zahler.
Yeah.
Of course they do, because they think he's like the new Don Siegel. That's why.
Yeah.
Very.
And
obvious.
he put Vince Vaughn in one of his movies. They love him.
It makes a lot of sense that they would think that. Well, as a film goer, I just think he's really good. I don't give a shit about any of that. Go ahead.
My number 8 is Alex Ross Perry's rock and roll masterpiece, Her Smell.
Is that would I like that?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Elizabeth Moss is in every scene.
No, I'm not the biggest Elizabeth Moss fan, but all right. Her Smell. Number 7. I think this movie was great. Also very long, but I loved it. Motherless Brooklyn.
Right. I haven't seen that yet. My number 7 is by one of our best modern filmmakers, Ari Aster. Midsommar.
Yeah, I think it's better than that number, whatever that number was for you.
7.
I believe. Okay. My number 6 is a movie that just came out, and yes, it was released in theaters, and it's on my list. In fact, I still think it might even be in a theater or two, but it's on Amazon Prime if you want to see it. The Report.
Oh, I'm very excited to see that movie, actually.
It is excellent. I believe it is what I wanted from movies like The Post and Spotlight. It is a true kick-ass procedural sort of. It's not even a journalism movie, but it's like that kind of movie. It's great. The Report.
Cool.
Your hero, Adam Driver, is
I'm well aware. He's great in everything.
He's very good.
My number 6 is one of Jordan Peele's top 2 films, Us.
Not a fan.
I know. That's dumb.
Yeah. You're overrated. All right. Number 5. I know that. Well, Us isn't not on my list, and this sure as shit ain't on yours. Number 5 is Joker.
Oh, fuck that movie. Yeah. My number 5 is Harmony Korine's best movie, The Great. The Beach Bum.
I hadn't even heard of it.
Wow. You have heard of it because my previous 2019 list, it was number 1.
Really?
Yeah. I fucking love that movie. It's incredible. Matthew McConaughey plays the titular beach bum.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg's in it. It's great.
I think the pitch for it gets quieter and quieter. Snoop Dogg's in it.
I love
All right.
fish. It's great.
You had me at Harmony Korine. I'm in. All right. Number 4. This movie is great. 2 for 2 on this guy. Midsommar.
Great. My number 4 is the best comedy of the year, Henry.
I think I know what you're going to say.
That's right. Between Two Ferns, the movie.
Oh, that can't be on it.
It's a movie. It's got the word movie in the title.
Fuck you. I asked you before we did this if I could put Netflix
And I
movies
said yes.
Oh, you were pretty hesitant. I've got like 5 movies on here that are Netflix that aren't. Okay, fine. It's a preliminary list, folks.
Yeah.
Number 3. Dan has never heard of this movie, and yes, it's a kind of a Henry movie. This is a Scottish film with Peter Mullen and the great Gerard Butler.
Oh, I'm listening. Is it Angel Has Fallen?
About 3 guys stuck in a lighthouse. Actually, you might like it. They're trapped in a lighthouse.
Wait, is it The Lighthouse?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Me
It's
neither.
on my queue. It's on my queue. It's coming out in Jan.
Mm.
It's the other Lighthouse movie of this year called The Vanishing.
That's a movie.
I know.
Twice.
I know. I don't know
You
why
can't
they
do
went-
that.
I don't know who did that, but that's what it's called, and it's great. I know.
It's like if
number
I
3.
made a movie today called What About Bob?
And not only that, as if The Vanishing was already not a famous movie.
Yeah. Have you seen my new movie starring Gerard Butler? It's called King Ralph. My number 3 is Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, interesting. This is getting interesting. Number 2 is my big discovery for 2019. I have now seen all but one of this German director's movie. I've talked about him before, Christian Petzold. His movie is amazing, and that movie is Transit.
What the fuck is that?
It's a foreign movie. My list's a little eclectic there.
Yeah. All these movies you deemed better than the new Scorsese masterpiece.
I think that a couple of them are. I don't think I like the Scorsese movie quite as much as you do.
Well, my number 2 is The Irishman.
The Irishman.
The Irishman.
Oh, look at you. By the way, best part of that movie is Joe Pesci. He's fucking amazing.
I don't disagree.
Obviously, the best movie of the year so far is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Nope, the best movie of the year, the true masterpiece, a film I snuck into after Frozen 2, Bong Joon-ho's Palme d'Or winning Parasite.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
It's got an epilogue that doesn't need to be there, but other than that, it's perfect.
I had to get that in there. I love it. Okay. All right.
Henry, what trailers do you see?
All right. So,
Do you want to hear mine? I wrote them all down.
Wait. All right. So, I already told my theater story, right? You tell yours.
Oh. I went with Libby. So, that was another thing, like going in Frozen 2, I have a girl with me.
That helped.
Yeah.
That helped. Yeah.
Here's the deal. We made the plan to sneak into Parasite, which was starting at noon. So we had to see the first screening of the day, which was 10 a.m., Henry.
Oh, God.
All right? Now, I had work after Parasite. So,
Okay.
We went there, and the 10 a.m. screening was in the IMAX theater. So we get in there. I brought a seltzer. It exploded in the theater. Then I had a black and white cookie with me that I got at a deli beforehand.
That's not enough for me. Yeah, I need all kinds of shit with me. But yeah.
Then, the movie, I gotta tell you, IMAX, it was fine. The picture's great. The sound, it's so loud.
It's deafening.
It was like Libby and I were talking to each other during the movie at full volume. No one could hear us.
Yeah. I haven't been to an IMAX in a while, but they are fucking
insane.
Powerful. Yeah, it really is.
You can't hear yourself think in that fucking theater.
No, it's true, man. You're right.
It was pretty sparsely attended, but there were a couple mom-kid situations happening. But I mean, they could have been crying throughout the movie. I couldn't hear.
That's the advantage.
Yeah.
They can't hear you. You can't hear them.
I know, but then I walked out. I felt like I had just been at a fucking Sabbath show.
Ears ringing.
Yeah. And I just watched Frozen fucking 2.
That's a great way to lose 1% of your hearing.
Yeah.
So
that was my theater going experience. There's and then the trailers started. We saw some really great trailers. I always love seeing a kids movie in theaters to catch up on these kid trailers.
Yeah, it's a great fucking time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna name some trailers. You tell me if you got any of these.
Alrighty.
All right. First thing starts. Looks to me like a dog movie. Then all of a sudden Harrison Ford's on the screen. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Saw it.
And it turns out it's an adaptation of Jack London's The Call of the Wild.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you something?
What, you wanted to see that?
No, but I choked up when the dog ran to save the woman.
You fucking idiot!
I totally was a fucking idiot, and I even said to my brain when after it happened, I was like, "Did I just get emotional when they showed a shot of the dog trying to save the woman falling through the ice?" Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. So that's that one. Then we got the new SpongeBob movie.
Saw it.
Yeah, that looks great. Then Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
You didn't get that one?
I didn't get Sonic. No,
That looks great, Henry.
really.
Jim Carrey is playing Dr. Robotnik, and he's really having a good time.
Oh no. Oh no. Who's putting that out? Fucking Pixar is doing that?
No, it's a live-action movie, Henry, except for Sonic, who's animated.
A live action Sonic.
Well, Jim Carrey's live-action. He's Jim Carrey
thought it
dressed as
was
Dr. Robotnik.
Oh my. All right.
And Sonic is Ben Schwartz, if you know that guy.
It's that Jewish guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, then we got a Scooby-Doo origin tale
Yeah.
entitled Scoob. Henry's losing it right now. You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
I don't know
Mid-
that I needed the origin of the Scooby-Doo gang. Also, I feel like Scoob's talking way too much.
He really is yapping, and that took me off guard. I did not expect all that dialogue from him. He's got the most dialogue in the trailer.
I
Him and
know. And in the trailer, it reveals that he got the name Scooby-Doo when they were in a store looking at a thing of Scooby snacks. I always assumed Scooby snacks got their name through Scooby-Doo. Yeah. Regardless, my question is, where now did Scooby snacks get their name?
Yeah, good point. But also, you know what, Mystery Van? Some mysteries don't need to be solved. Okay?
You're totally right. It's just like at the end of like Fantastic Four when they're like, you know, us four truly are fantastic. Hang on.
Hold the phone, thing.
Or the classic, I think probably the second most filmed Batman scene behind the pearls is Bruce Wayne sitting in his study and a bat smashes through the window. I will become a bat.
Yeah. But never done the same way twice.
No. Okay, so after Scoob, I saw Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, thank God I didn't get that.
That looks great, Henry.
Yeah, I bet.
You gotta see this.
Boy, I guess
We gotta cover Doolittle. That'll be fun.
That's
we could go all the way from Rex Harrison to Eddie Murphy to Downey.
Jerry Lewis, right? Jerry Lewis?
No, you're thinking of the Nutty Professor.
Yes, I am. All right, yeah.
Okay, so then I saw a movie we will be covering, Henry. Jumanji: The Next Level.
I didn't see that either.
Now this looks great.
Right.
I'll have you know that now. Remember Jack Black was a girl in the first movie?
Oh, yeah. I saw this when I saw something else. Yeah, not this.
He's a black guy now.
Right. That's a really great idea for 2019.
And The Rock's a girl.
Good.
Very funny.
A lot of stuff going on.
I was laughing.
It's the best movie of 1993. Yeah.
Well, I loved the first one.
I know.
Okay, then after that we saw Mulan.
Boy, I didn't see any of this
Live
shit.
action Mulan coming soon.
Mm.
And then finally Pixar's new one, Onward, which looks like a real Weekend at Bernie's situation.
Oh, yes. Is that the soul one with
Yep.
the soul? Yeah. I saw that one. But you didn't mention, obviously, the one we meant to say, the biggie.
Maybe I didn't get this one.
Oh, I mentioned it earlier.
Oh, Cats?
Yeah.
I've seen that trailer a number of times, not
Never seen
before this one. It looks astonishing.
It's a beautiful production. The costumes look great. The music is one of one of my favorite composers who ever graced a pen to paper, and that is Andrew Lloyd Webber. I can't wait for this.
It's got Taylor Swift looking sexy as a cat. It's got Jennifer Hudson, Oscar winner.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba's there. Jason Derulo's there. You've got Judi Dench is a cat. You know what's the creepiest part to me, Henry, is that they're all small.
Meaning what? I don't know if I noticed.
So, like, they're human-sized, right? Because they're humans playing them.
Right.
But they made them tiny, so, like, they have to, like, jump up on the couch.
I didn't notice that. It was all out in an alleyway, the whole trailer I saw.
I know. But you see them inside a couple times, and it's like they're standing on, like, a counter or something.
Andrew Lloyd Webber should be drawn and quartered. Is he dead already? Hopefully.
I think he's alive. I hope that if this does well, they make Starlight Express into a feature film. All right, I guess we should talk about Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
It's 3 years later. Everything's going great in the kingdom. Looks like Elsa's the queen. Is that right?
Yeah. She sure is. King Agnar. That's their parent. We get a little flashback.
A lot of flashbacks. You know, we saw like the parents leave on a boat in the first one. They die. So I guess like the easiest thing to do for a sequel is like, remember those characters we set up that we didn't do anything with? Let's do something with them.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget to tell me to do the superhero count, which of course, like last week, we didn't do.
We can do that at the end. That's fine.
Yeah, it works out fine for me. All right. Yeah, so he tells him a story about basically a forest that was covered in mist because a native tribe was meeting the king of Arendelle. They had what they thought was an agreement of peace, but it was broken. Correct?
What?
What happened?
Oh, I fell asleep.
Fuck you! I thought something had happened! I'm telling the plot!
Yeah, the plot's boring.
Okay, all right. I don't know what was going on there for a minute. You went through details on the last one, so
I know. Listen, I just couldn't take this Native American mysticism. It's another secret Native American mysticism movie, just like Poltergeist fucking 2.
I literally thought Dan's mic broke. I thought his mic broke. That's what I thought happened. Okay. All
I
right,
just threw my mic aside in disgust at this plot line.
Geez. Thought he was mad at me. I didn't.
So what happens? Fucking Elsa, she's a fucking head case, so she goes insane again, starts making everything icy. There's like an earthquake. They get rid of everybody from the town, and then what to do? They have to find a way to get into this enchanted forest and figure out Elsa's fucking powers so she's not ruining everything anymore.
Wow. Okay.
So they go off into the woods. Into the woods we go. Speaking of Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, no, that's Sondheim. We get, it's going to be Elsa. She's going. Anna's coming. You got Kristoff with Sven. They're still together.
Yeah, the gang.
And is that everybody that comes?
I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So they get in
quintet.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, and Olaf, of course.
Yeah, the quintet. You got the snowman, the horse, the
Horse.
2 girls, and the guy. You got a snowman. You got a horse. I'm a little concerned. Irishman.
Yeah, great stuff.
I love that.
So that goes down. They get into the enchanted forest by walking through a wall of steam, and they immediately meet some natives. They're all voiced just by like normal white and black people, even though they're drawn to look like Native Americans.
So I think that Dan didn't care for this sequel.
It's okay. I liked it as much as the first one.
Oh, all right. Okay. Didn't sound like it.
No, I will say that Sterling K. Brown pops up at this point, and he's enjoyable to hear from.
I didn't know he was in it, and I recognized a voice. Didn't know it was his voice.
I recognized his voice. I had to look up the lady native. Who was that again?
Wasn't that Martha Plimpton?
It was Martha Plimpton, which I was like
weird.
The first time I heard it, I was like, "Who the fuck is it?" And I was trying to think, like, is this like, Helen Mirren or something?
Yeah, I thought it was like Carrie Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Is this like
it's somebody
Margot Martindale or something?
Yeah, it's some septuagenarian, and then it's
Martha Plimpton.
Like what?
Yeah, it's one of the Goonies.
She's walking around these days in her flip-flops and her fucking sundress, probably around her Hollywood Hills house. She's fine. So she was available.
She's doing great. Raising Hope got canceled a couple years ago, so she's back on the market.
Well, she probably got a nice little paycheck for this, did he?
I'm sure she did. The Plimpster.
Yeah.
She probably has to do like all the video games now and shit too. They probably get a lot of bang for that sort of stuff.
I think she rolls her eyes a lot, like in like a '90s way, and like and like oh, now I gotta do video. And
Do you know about
Do
Do you know about Tom Hanks's Toy Story thing?
Let's hear it.
All the Toy Story video games and like licensed materials and stuff like that. Tom Hanks won't do it. Like he just like decided not to do it. And so Tom Hanks has a brother who's not really an actor named Jim Hanks, who kind of sounds like Tom Hanks.
Oh no.
And so if you look at like the IMDb pages for all those like extra Toy Story things, it's Woody played by Jim Hanks.
That's embarrassing. That's like that's like Jimmy Carter's brother or something. It's like
Roger Clinton.
Yeah, we can't get Bill Clinton over here to play sax. Does Roger play anything?
Yeah.
He plays beer cans.
I know. It'd be like if they got Jim Belushi to be in Blues Brothers 2000.
Ouch. Oh, that's coming up soon on the podcast. Not
What,
really.
Blues Brothers?
At some point.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure. They're just too long. So they're in the woods. Elsa is hearing this sound the whole movie. Like, that's why she goes crazy in the first place. Because everywhere she goes, it's...
Do you think it's the same composer who does all of those Middle Eastern movies with the voiceover
No,
sounds?
no. I think because that motif... You're thinking of A.R. Rahman.
Do that motif for me again.
Jai ho. So
that's it.
Yeah. No. Oh, you mean the one from Frozen?
No, I mean like comparing the Frozen type one to the like ones that show up in Syriana and all the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The one you did's a little faster. So that's when they're first getting to the town. They're in the convoy.
They're in the convoy. It's an aerial shot of George convoy. Maybe throw in some Gyllenhaal. He's following behind. Mm-hmm. There you go. But now we're in Scandinavia, where we know there were tons of Native Americans. So that's going on.
Yes. So Elsa's going slowly insane, much like noted mathematician John Nash, hearing voices, seeing things.
Racist remarks.
Yeah, being secretly homosexual. So Elsa comes across, she runs away from the rest of her family because that's what she does, because she's a selfish little piece of shit.
Oh.
And she turns the entire water into ice, thereby killing all the fish.
Oh my god.
And she finds her way to this island. It's sort of like that scene in The Last Jedi when Rey goes down into that hole.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, come on!
I thought you were going to say in Force Awakens when she finds Luke on that island.
Oh, that too, I guess. But when she goes into that hole on the island,
and
she sees there? Like 1,000 of herself or something.
Oh, fucking remembers that piece of shit movie. I don't remember anything about it.
It's a good movie.
I thought it was a little bit unoriginal with the elements there. I thought, so they have the 5 elements.
Oh, right. It's Earth. Oh, right. The 5 elements.
5 elements.
Because it's Earth,
element.
Fire, Earth, fire, air, water. Okay? And these are like 5 little goblins living in the woods.
Well,
the air one is like a couple of leaves that seem to dance around and shit.
The little dancing Gale.
Yeah.
The very cutely named Gale.
The fire one is the genuinely adorable little lizard guy.
Okay, now wait a second. That one lost me.
No, it's good.
That's what I'm talking about with you.
You
Disney.
can buy the Funko Pop for me.
All right, you can get the fire guy, the salamander. I don't want any parts of that. That's the Disney cutesy shit that loses me. but that's okay.
Then the water one is a horse made of water.
Water horse.
But I thought you can't take a horse to water, so I was confused by that.
Unless you make it drink.
I guess it did drink. And then Elsa turns it into ice and rides it. And then what's the other one?
Now we're talking about derivative material, my friend. Okay? Holy shit. We get Earth as the fucking exact monsters from the Neverending Story. It's the same fucking thing.
I didn't notice that.
It's identical,
But
man.
what are the monsters? I don't remember them now.
Stand up, and they're actually a mountain that like can walk and shit. It's like identical.
Oh, right. They're the big giants, and they're sleeping.
Earth.
They have to like sneak by them at first. Oh, right. That's when fucking spoilers, gang. Olaf fucking dies, bro.
Guess what?
He comes back at the end of the movie.
Oh, the other part.
You cried?
Had to take a piss. Didn't know he died. Came back to the theater.
Henry, you gotta know the animation rules. I took a piss as well, Henry, during this movie.
I told him.
I waited until Kristoff started singing. I was like, oh, a tangential character is singing? I'm out of here.
Oh, I wanted every part of that White Snake ballad that he does, man.
I didn't hear it.
It was amazing. They even do the like sort of the Queen. That was very funny. I actually like that. You missed that whole thing?
Yeah.
It was very funny, that whole thing. It was terrible, but it was very funny. Yeah, I went and took a piss when her and Anna, fuck you, Anna, and Olaf get in the mountain. I'm like, oh, they'll just be wandering around this little dark space for a while. Nothing possibly is going to happen. I come back from the theater, and she's crying in a corner alone, and I'm like, what happened to Olaf?
Fucking
no idea.
Dead, bro.
I read that he faded away or something.
All the snow just sort of faded into the snow. You know, he like lost his magic.
Because Elsa is frozen?
Elsa's like too far away or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah. And Elsa's the fifth element.
Ice.
Yeah. Or Elsa.
Yes, or just Elsa.
Yeah, it's just Elsa.
I like to prefer to think, I was preferring to think of it as ice being, I mean, how can a person be, what does that even mean?
It just means like that's how special Elsa is.
Like Mila Jovovich in The Fifth Element.
Yes, Lilu.
Lilu. By the way, the origins of my hatred of Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, he's a little much in that movie.
And who is this fucking guy?
Yeah, but then you saw him the next year in Money Talks, and you were like, I'm back in.
The thing is, I didn't.
I did.
Yeah, so I thought this movie was fine. I thought it was a sequel.
Yeah, it certainly was. But, you know, they presented it like Buck and Lee had like carte blanche to like make whatever they wanted after Frozen. And they presented it like, well, ultimately we just had this idea for Frozen 2 that we couldn't not work on. Like we were inspired. And it doesn't feel like that.
Is that right? You think so?
To me... I mean, I believe them. I believe them that they thought this was a great idea and they knew it would make a lot of money. And Jennifer Lee is now the head of Disney Animation, so that's something that matters to her.
I was actually asking that genuinely. Like, that's correct that you think that they said that they had this?
They
idea
definitely said that. But I just, to me, it feels like a sequel. And to me, I mean, the production values are amazing. The animation is better than the first one. They're writing to Idina Menzel's voice. The songs are very professional. That One Into the Unknown, I think, is like genuinely great.
Yeah, that
and
was
I
cool.
kind of think might win the Oscar this year.
Oh, really? You think? Yeah, something will.
Or it'll be nominated at least.
Yeah, she shouts a lot in that number, Adele Dazeem.
But she really hits those notes. She is impressive.
She rocks it with presumably without a vocoder. Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. I mean, she does it on Broadway.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah.
So anyway, I just, to me, it felt like if this was the old days, like when sequels mattered less.
Yeah.
this would have come out straight to video, and the songs wouldn't have been written by the same people, and maybe a couple of the voices might sound a little wonky. They definitely could have still gotten Gad. But, like, I don't know. This didn't feel too much more inspired to me than, like, The Return of Jafar.
Oh, I disagree.
I mean, it's
with
better than that. Maybe I should have said Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I liked the first one more, but I was having trouble rating this because it was kind of like it was shorter.
You could just give it the same thing, dude. Like, I liked the first one more than this one, but I'm gonna still give this one a 2. Certainly not a 1.
I wrote my rating, and I'm going to stick with it. But I'm saying when I was watching the movie, I was thinking, like, how do I even feel about this? But so if having that feeling, I was all right. Considering I had to see it in 29-degree weather, and I didn't particularly feel like it, but I wanted to obviously it was nice to have a patron. So yeah, it was a 3.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a 3. It's absolutely a 3. I mean, come on, man.
That's a 2.
Okay.
It has that one good song. It's fun to see the characters again. There's another new cute thing. And the part where Olaf, recapped the events of the first movie made me laugh.
Oh, yeah. Didn't know there was a post-credits scene.
Oh, I did. But
Didn't know.
I didn't stick around for it.
Oh, well, I didn't. I left because I thought it was over.
No, I read about it. It seems like it was just like an extra joke that was like a reference to that. I did stick around to hear some of the... Okay, so the big song is Into the Unknown in this movie. We didn't talk about this. In the first movie, during the closing credits, they had a cover of Let It Go... Not by Idina Menzel, by Demi Lovato.
Okay.
So in this movie, because now Idina Menzel's ridiculously famous, I figured they would just play the song Into the Unknown over the closing credits.
Yeah.
But we went the cover route again. I don't know if you stuck around.
No.
Panic at the Disco.
Really?
A beautiful cover. And I was very close, Henry. When it first started, I turned to Libby and I said, "Is this Fall Out Boy?" I was really close. It's Panic at the Disco. That guy with his nasally voice, he can hit those notes. And supposedly Weezer did another. Weezer covered the Christoph song that I missed. That played after that in the closing credits, but I didn't hear it. Yeah.
Oh my God! I would have loved to have heard that.
I'm sure you can find it online.
That's hysterical because the scene itself was like a parody of those like '80s hair metal bands. So
and
I was
Weezer
like,
loves that shit.
Yeah. So that's very funny. All right. Interesting.
All right. So who's your MVP of Frozen 2?
I'm my own MVP for seeing this movie by myself in a theater and having the ticket taker say, "Just you?" No.
I love that.
Yeah, no, it was great. I wanted to laugh if I thought she would get it, but I figured she would just think I was a creep, which she probably already thought, so it was fine. My MVP in this movie, you're not going to like it, but I thought it was nice to have presumably the featured character featured more, and it was nice for Elsa. She's my MVP.
Elsa's your MVP, that maniac. My MVP. Oh, by the way, the movie ends with Elsa having, like, Anna takes over as queen of the port town, and then Elsa goes off to live in the Enchanted Forest, being in charge of that place, and I'm like, that's great. Isolate her, keep her away from people, but leave her close enough so that Olaf can come back to life.
There you go. Yeah. I kept wondering when the girl with the dragon tattoo is going to show up, because we were in Sweden somewhere, right? Like, that would have been a great Pixar little throw-in, just to have kind of walk into
Does Disney own the rights to Lisbeth Salander? I don't know.
There's a salamander in the movie.
That's a
so
great point. They could have
there-
named it Lisbeth Salamander, gave the little salamander like a nose ring.
And some black goth jackets
Yeah.
and shit. Been perfect. Then I would have been in. Yeah, get Noomi Rapace to voice. That's a 5-star movie. Forget your Irishman. That's my Swede.
You might be right.
Yeah.
My MVP, the only arc I cared about, honestly, in this movie was the fucking snowman. He died. He was funny a couple times. I'm going Gad MVP on this one.
Love it. I liked his recap, by the way.
That's what I said. That was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that was very funny.
And then
I'm glad
when
I didn't-
Elsa had a little recap of her life, it was boring.
What is it? That was
Elsa did the same thing Olaf did, but she was just like, "Oh, remember that?
right.
Remember she saw herself singing "Let It Go"?
Yes, I do
Did you
remember
think
that.
there was going to be a full "Let It Go" reprise in the second one? Because I did.
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually kind of, not because I needed or wanted to hear it, but I felt like that was cheating to not do that.
I felt thankful that they didn't. They wrote that into the Unknown song, and I felt good that they had enough confidence in that song to be the centerpiece of the music in this movie.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a fair point, but I definitely think people were waiting for that to happen. and it
Probably.
didn't happen.
Yeah. LVP.
Yeah, mine was pretty easy for me. I really liked this character in the first Frozen, and in this one, I really found her to be a pesky, annoying person who just wouldn't leave her sister alone, and that's Anna.
Wow.
Just wouldn't leave her alone. Constantly up her ass. Don't go anywhere without me. Don't do
You're
this.
worried. She's a basket case. She might kill herself.
Well, that's your psychological take on it, but from a sisterly perspective, it just seemed like a little much, a little overbearing. Like Anna, fucking go hang out with Kristoff, do the nasty, do something, leave me alone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My LVP for this one is another character I liked in the first movie that I didn't care for in this one, and that's Kristoff. We gave him the old "I'm trying to propose, but it's never the right time" storyline, which goes fucking nowhere. It's a terrible cast off from this could have been a Full House storyline in the 80s.
Yeah.
Fucking Danny Tanner trying to propose to Lori Loughlin. Wait, were they together? No, it was Uncle Jesse with Loughlin, right?
Never liked that show as a kid.
Okay.
Wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
Night Court.
so that was annoying to me throughout. I never liked that storyline, and then it wrapped up with them just getting married and whatever. It went nowhere. So that dude's my LVP. Can I hear the superhero count?
Sure you can. All right, everybody. We have a 4 and a 4. 4 count and a 4 count.
Let's hear the first 4 count for Frozen 1. I'm hosting.
I love it. It's like the Oscars. Alan Tudyk voiced the character of the Duke of Weaselton, and he played Clark Kent Superman in Justice League War from 2013, direct to DVD. He also played Redneck Number 1 in Deadpool 2.
Okay.
And he also played Barry Allen, the Flash, in Batman the Brave and the Bold. And in Young Justice, he played Green Arrow, Simon, Pasimon, and Captain Cold. Oh, my. And Danger Boat in The Tick.
All right, he gets around the world of superheroes because he's a nerd icon as a result of being in Firefly.
Is that why?
Yeah.
He's also in. He also is the Joker in Harley Quinn, 2019 Harley Quinn.
Oh, that's the new. Just premiered on. There's a new Harley Quinn animated series on the DC Universe Network.
Well, he's the Joker.
Okay.
Dan's favorite actor, Ciarán Hinds. Was the Paddy in this, like the Grand Pabby, the troll guy, right?
Right.
So he played Mephistopheles in Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. and he was Steppenwolf in the greatest superhero movie ever made, Justice League.
My favorite superhero villain ever.
Great, Steppenwolf, great. I like their song "Born to Be Wild." That's my favorite.
That is a good
part.
one.
Yeah. Maurice LaMarche, who in the first Frozen played the King of Arendelle.
Yeah,
They changed.
he's one of the voice actors that's, he's like a million credits. He works.
Right, and I just picked a few. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he played the Foot Brute.
Great.
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, he played Attila the Frog and Rasputin the Mad Frog. And
You gotta love the Ninja Turtles.
they are out of their minds. They're out of their fucking minds. In a cartoon called Avengers Assemble, he played Doctor Doom.
That was on for a long time. Cool.
And also Doctor Doom and a Doombot in Ultimate Spider-Man, and Doctor Doom again in Hulk and Agents of Smash. So he is the go-to Doctor Doom. He is also in The Tick, playing Human Ton and Handy Pigleg Mr. Smarty Pants.
Jesus. All right, who's next?
Last but not least, for the first Frozen movie, our hero from Scooby-Doo is Frank Welker.
Yes. You don't need to go through all of Frank Welker's
I'm not.
credits.
That's why I just brought him up. I didn't circle a single thing because I already know he's in 1,000. But I just loved what he did in Frozen. Do you know what Frank Welker did in the first
I
Frozen
bet
movie?
you I do, because he does a lot of animal voices. Is he Sven?
Wow, good call. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you call Frank Welker in for. He goes, "Rawr."
What a job he has.
Yeah.
I'm so envious. All right, Frozen 2, Sterling K. Brown, of course, played Njobu in Black Panther.
Yeah, first 10 mins.
Right, that's right. Alfred Molina
Doc Ock.
played
Who's he in Frozen 2?
King Agnar. Yeah. He, of course, is Doc Ock, and he played Ares, the voice of Ares in a Wonder Woman cartoon, and the voice of Destiny in Justice League Dark from 2017.
Sure, I remember. Oh, Destiny?
Yeah.
I know a Marvel character named Destiny. I don't know the DC one.
Stripper named Destiny. And he played King Gustav in Justice League.
Sure.
Not live action. Rachel Matthews played the Honey Marin. That was the friend that befriended Anna in the Native American forest.
Yeah, I bet.
Anyway, she's in the new Batwoman TV show playing Magpie.
Oh, yeah. That's a good villain, yeah. Magpie. Do you remember that villain?
I do, from the Batman comics in the 80s, because I have one particular comic where she's on the cover.
Because she was introduced in John Byrne's Man of Steel series, like post-Crisis. Remember there's that one issue where it's like Superman and Batman meeting for the first time in like post-Crisis continuity. Magpie's the villain in that issue.
She's the villain in the one I have where Jason Todd is reintroduced in his second origin story.
Love it. You gotta love
Rust.
DC's continuity.
Anyway,
I mean, the fact that I just earnestly said to you the first time they meet in post-Crisis continuity. Good Lord. I feel like punching myself.
some listeners just punched their phones. And lastly, but definitely not leastly, one of the best characters on 6 Feet Under, Jeremy Sisto, was in this movie.
The great Jeremy Sisto.
Yeah, he was one of the other kings, the bad king in this, the one who double crosses everybody. He was Talon in Batman versus Robin.
Okay.
He played Batman in Justice League: The New Frontier.
Weird.
And that's that.
Okay. Great superhero count, Hank.
Thank you very much.